C. Edmund Wright is on the line with us. Got to click the right button in the right place. Do I have you, sir?
Yes, I'm here, Thom.
Okay, great. Conservative commentator, contributor to Breitbart and the American Thinker, author of the book WTF, How Karl Rove and the Establishment Lost Again, and his website, Edmund, EDMUND, Wright, WRIGHT.com. The Twitter is C. Edmund Wright as well. Welcome back to the program.
Hey, always glad to be here.
Thank you. You sent us this article about how the Obamacare death panels are coming. What's with this?
Well, I mean, the death panels obviously, Thom, was a phrase that I guess we can thank Sarah Palin for getting into our vernacular. And of course, she was widely panned at the time by almost the entire media establishment. Certainly the Democrat Party, almost 100%, and even some elements of the Republican Party. But what's actually happened is we found out more about this IPAB, the board of bureaucrats, 15 bureaucrats, who are going to have a whole lot of tremendous decisions or decision-making power.
This is called the Independent Payment Advisory Board.
Yeah. Exactly. Not a new Apple product. But, even Howard Dean, Slate, some other liberal sources have agreed that, these are, in effect, death panels. So while the term was provocative and it was rhetorical by, design and by definition, it was actually a teachable term, and, it tells the story. It's a very clarifying term.
Okay, well, I can't argue with that, but it does raise some interesting questions. Obviously, if you are defining, first of all, because we don't have government health insurance, at least Obamacare isn't government health insurance. I mean, we do have a single-payer program, two single-payer programs, Medicare and Medicaid, and we do have socialist medicine in the United States, which is the VA and TRICARE. But Obamacare is provided by private for-profit corporations. So basically what Obamacare, what this panel is doing is saying, here are the boundaries within which you private for-profit corporations have to work. And so here's the question that I have for you, Mr. Wright. If somebody is making these decisions, and somebody always has been making these decisions, wouldn't it be better to have a panel put together by an administration which is answerable to we the people, doing so with a certain level of transparency required by law, subject to the Freedom of Information Act, for example? Wouldn't that be better than, for example, a company run by Stephen J. Hemsley, who made over $1 billion, or his predecessor, Dollar Bill McGuire, who made over $1.7 billion, both of them running one health insurance company, United Healthcare? And I would submit to you that the vast majority of their hundreds of millions of dollars in compensation came from United Healthcare's death panels, from saying to people, "Oh no, we're not going to cover you. We just discovered you have a pre-existing condition. Oh no, we're not going to cover you. We discovered you filled out your application wrong back 20 years ago when we started taking your money. We're not going to cover it. We're not that kind of thing." So which kind of death panels are we going to have? Are we going to have rules set up by a government that's accountable to we the people, or are we going to have rules set up by a couple of billionaires?
Well, I got to tell you a couple of premises there I disagree with. Number one, I think that Lois Lerner and the IRS have showed us that a government agency answerable to we the people, that's just the...
Have you not been reading the news, sir? 2 days ago, the New York Times filed back to the Freedom of Information. They filed a Freedom of Information Act on that and discovered that liberal groups were targeted about 2-to-1 over Tea Party groups and conservative groups by the IRS for examination of their tax-exempt status. So, this whole canard that the only convicted criminal in Congress, Darrell Issa, the only guy who's ever actually been convicted of a crime, has been promoting is a lie.
Well, I have not seen that New York Times story, and I don't think it's a story.
It's all over the. It's not just the New York Times. I mean, it's reported all over the place. The liberal groups were singled out twice as much as conservative groups. I mean, all is feigned outrage. But the fact of the matter is, we were able to find out because of the Freedom of Information Act. You will never be able to subject United Healthcare to the Freedom of Information Act to find out how many children died because they didn't get liver transplants so that Stephen Hemsley could make his $1 billion.
All right, hang on. That's all right. First of all, that's very dramatic the way you put that up.
It's true.
No. Well, first of all, the idea that children died so Hemsley could make a few more dollars, you don't know that that's true. Now, I'll say
it absolutely is true. According to Harvard University,
the health insurance industry operates on about a 2 to 3% profit margin.
No, you're thinking of Medicare. Medicare is 2 to 3%. The health insurance industry was running anywhere from 25 to 40%, and Obamacare says that if you are a multi-billion-dollar health insurance company, you can't take more than 20% off the top, and if you are a multi-million-dollar health insurance company, you can't take more than 25% off the top.
Hold on a second. You got your facts wrong. You're just talking about the underwriting margin and pretending like there's no cost of doing business. There's no overhead cost.
The total overhead for Medicare is 3%.
Well, look, I don't know.
It's a matter of record, matter of public record. Total overhead for Medicare is 3%. The amount of money, if you send $100 to Medicare, you will get back $97 worth of health care. If you send $100 to United Healthcare, you will get back $80 worth of health care.
Tom, there was more Medicare and Medicaid fraud in 2 counties in Florida around Miami than there was gross profit for the entire private health insurance industry.
You don't think there was ever fraud committed against United Healthcare?
Of course, sure there is. No, I understand there is, and I do understand.
So should we shut them down just like we should shut down Medicare because they've been the victims of fraud?
No, I didn't say we should shut down Medicare. I just said that the idea that a government bureaucracy is going to waste more money just on typical government inefficiency.
Well, if they're running at only 3% and they're having a fraud problem, why don't we raise their budget so they can run at 4% and they can nail the fraudsters? Why is it that the Republicans constantly cut the budgets of investigative agencies? I mean, they've cut back the IRS to the point where the IRS can't even find the billionaires who are stashing their money overseas.
They are every now and then they are slightly reducing the baseline budget guaranteed increase every year.
Right, and as a result, the IRS has had to lay off inspectors.
They don't have to lay off inspectors.
They've done it every year for the last 4 years.
Government employment's at an all-time high, Tom, and they've hired 17,000 new ones just for Obamacare.
No, come on.
That was in the bill. 16,000, I think, was the figure. So,
IRS agents? No.
Yes, 16,000 IRS agents were hired as part of Obamacare. You can look that up. That goes back to 2009, 2010 when we were debating this.
Yeah, I will look that up because I don't believe it.
Yeah.
But even if that's the case, okay, fine. Let's, if we've got to collect taxes to pay for something that's helping people, what's wrong with that?
But Tom,
you don't think United Healthcare has 16,000 people working for it?
I have no trust in and no respect for the bureaucratic microbes hiding in cubicles in big government agencies. I just think that is the worst.
But you're just fine with the bureaucratic microbes hiding in cubicles over at United Healthcare, where if you go to United Healthcare and protest out in front of their building, they can have you arrested. You can stand out in front of HHW all day long.
That's fine. Neither one's going to do any good. The fact of the matter is United Healthcare cannot tax me, cannot jail me, cannot regulate me. If I have a problem with United Healthcare,
they can just steal from you. They can just steal from you. Okay, all right. Well, I guess what we're coming down to is the old debate about, government versus not. But I get and respect your point of view, sir. C. Edmund Wright. The website, cedmundwright.com. Thank you for dropping by.
All right, Tom. Anytime.
Good talking with you.